Hey, how's it going out there? Yeah, this is Elmore over here at Al's Motorcycle Shop. And it's been a while since I made a video, so I thought I'd try to catch everybody up to date on what was going on. And I happen to have this bike in the shop right now. I finished this bike, oh gosh, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and we've taken it to a few shows. And the owner is nice enough to let me borrow it from time to time and take it to a show. And that's why it's in here right now. So I thought I'd show it to you while I had the chance. A lot of people have already seen this bike, and it's been around for a while. And it's a 1972 Ironhead Sportster. That's a nickname, what we call an Ironhead, because the cylinder heads are made out of cast iron. So everybody calls them Ironheads. The newer Sportsters, the 883s and the 1200s, they're all aluminum motors, and this one is a cast iron engine, except for the cases, and those are made out of aluminum. Everything else is cast iron. So we call them an Ironhead. And in 1972, this was state-of-the-art stuff. This was a really good bike. Of course, it's pretty old now. But anyway, they're real good. There's a lot of parts laying around, and they're real good to make custom bikes out of, because we don't put a lot of miles on them anymore. So we just make them look pretty and show them at bike shows, and that's what this one is. And like I said, it's been around for a while, and I'd just like to, let everybody see it and take a look at it. It's kind of a work of art, and I'm real proud of it. But anyway, we're going to roll this one out of here, and we've got a couple other bikes I want to show you. Matter of fact, we got 2.5 bikes I want to show you. And then, of course, we got the project that we're going to start next. But what's going on here is I have some other videos out there on YouTube and Facebook and all over the place of other bikes that were in the process. One was just a frame, and one was I put a tail light on one at one time and made a spacer for another one. But those videos are out there, and now those 2 bikes are done. So we're going to roll this one out of here, and then we're going to roll these other 2 in, and we'll take a look at them. Okay, cameraman, you want to shut it off right there? We'll be right back as soon as we get this thing out of the way and get our next bike in here. Okay, let's go. Hey, okay, we got that other bike out of the way, and I got this other bike ready to roll in here. Like I said, I just finished this one, and it was the Whopper Chopper, the one I was talking about being the Whopper Chopper. So let me go get it. I'll be right back. This won't take long, if I don't fall over anyway. Okay, here we go. Well, wait a minute, check this out. Isn't that cool headlight? That's some more of that stuff I ordered from overseas. Anyway, I don't know if the bike's in the frame. Is there in the frame there, cameraman? Can you see the whole bike? Okay, we might have to adjust that. Alright, anyway, this is the Whopper Chopper. It's completely finished now. And you can see I bet the homemade sissy bar that we were talking about earlier. And we changed the carburetor. That other carburetor, it was a stock Harley-Davidson carburetor, and it just didn't work. I don't know what the deal with that was. Well, customer went ahead and bought a brand spanking new S&S carburetor on this bike, and this bike hasn't been test ridden yet. I mean, I got it all fitted up. It's all ready to go. Let's see here. It should fire right up. Let's see if we can crank it here. Got the choke on, got the key on. Let's find the starter button. Okay, it runs. Like I said, I haven't even test ridden this bike yet. We just finished this a couple days ago, and it's all ready to go. Should be. I don't think there's going to be any bugs in it. The next one I'm going to show you, I did have bugs in it, but when you see it, you'll know why. So we'll go ahead, cameraman, if you can shut off right there, and I'll get that next bike ready to put in here, and we'll take a look at it. It's finished too. All right, ready to go. Be right back. Okay, here I am again. The miracle of editing film, It's like, the bike disappeared. Oh my God, what happened to it? Oh. Anyway, I got the other bike here ready to roll in, and this is the one I had some problems with when I got ready to test ride it. I got about 100 miles on it now, and I figured I got all the bugs out of it. little gremlins running around inside there. And let's take a look at it and I'll explain to you what happened. Alright, here we go. This my little baby here. This is a 1977 Harley Davidson. It's a genuine Harley Davidson motor and transmission. It has a carburetor off of a 1200 Sportster on there, which is called a, they nicknamed this carburetor CV, is what they call it, a CV carburetor. CV stands for constant velocity. In other words, it measures the outside pressure and the inside pressure of the manifold, and it has a diaphragm that lifts a valve up that equalizes that pressure. It's constant velocity. Kind of technical, but it's a good working carburetor. Harley Davidson has used a lot of them. Right up until the time they quit using carburetors, they use this CV carburetor. I don't particularly care for it because it's not real good on horsepower. I like horsepower! But anyway, this is a 1977 Harley Davidson. It's all custom, you know, except for the motor and transmission, or stock Harley Davidson. It's a stock 74 cubic inch motor. It has a very mild cam in it, and it's got a 1979 or 80 transmission. 79, 80, 81, somewhere around in there. It's a 4-speed transmission, which is a lot of fun. I've got a front gear ratio of a 48 on the back and 24 in the front. It's a chain drive, and if anybody knows anything about motorcycles, they'll know that's geared up a little bit. So the 74 cubic inch motors really weren't designed for interstate travel. Pretty much all dirt road technology back then. AMF era, they really didn't make any changes to the big twins when AMF took over. And so it goes all the way back to the 40s, the technology. And you know, they're kind of classics. They're not real racy. They're not real racy, but they're fun to ride. They got plenty of power. They'll get you around town. You know, 70 miles an hour on the interstate. They'll do that all day long. Anyway, this is a look at it. It's completely finished. It's ready to go. Yeah, this one is, like I said, I had some bugs and gremlins running around this thing when I first cranked it. The oil pump, of course, everything's used. Everything's very old. So you have to rebuild, clean up, you know, refit everything when you put it together. Every part, every nut and bolt, everything. And the oil pump, of course, was that old too. And this oil pump, it had a leak, you know. So I played with that, you know, and got the surface flat again, and I got to quit leaking, and that was a big problem. But anyway, we got that cured. So no more leaking, you know. The motor does leak, of course, because it's a 1977 Harley Davidson, but some of those leaks you just can't stop. You can't stop them all, but you can stop the big ones. So we stopped the big ones, and we slowed everything down. This bike I set up with a horseshoe oil bag, which is like a you know, it's like a panhead style. It's an older style, you know, and from the 30s and that era, you know. So I've got a lot of doodads. I put a Sprinter front end on it. It's a brand new DNA, I think it is. Yeah, DNA Sprinter front end. I got the handlebars. I got the Daytona style handlebars. I've got the shock mounted risers, you know, so there's a little bit of shock in the handlebars when you're riding down the road. If you have a rigid frame handlebars, they'll really rough on your wrist, so you want some shock absorbers in there. And these risers have the shock absorbers built right into the riser. So that's kind of a good thing. This seat, I can't remember who made this seat. I wish I could so I could tell you, because this seat is nice. This is a really nice seat. And I got the P-pad to match it. I put the old style, you know, spoon foot pegs out. See if you can see upsweep megaphone type pipes. These pipes have a removable baffle, and you can take the baffle out. If you do, the motorcycle gets really loud. So I left the baffle in this one, and you know, because I'm old, I don't want to hear all that noise anymore. I've heard it enough. But anyway, it's a real sweet bike. You know, we had problems with the linkage because of that late model transmission. Some people call it a cowpie top transmission. Some it's a rotary top transmission is what I call it. It's not the earlier transmissions. Most people like them more than they do the later model transmissions, but it works just as good as long as you get the stock Harley Davidson linkage. If you try to take all that Harley Davidson linkage off and hook it up right direct to the transmission, you're going to have problems. It's not going to shift as good. This one's just fine. So we got, remember I was telling you before about the back brake. We got the back brake off of BMW. The front brake is an aftermarket. It fits that DNA front end. It's real good. I think it's a GMA front brake. Really, really good front brakes. So yeah, we want to cut it off there, and we want to get, what did I say? How many bikes have I got? That's 3 bikes, right? What did I say? I said 3.5. Okay, here comes our half bike. So if we want to cut it off right there, I'll get the half bike ready to push in here, okay? All right, cameraman, let's cut it off right there. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Got somebody's good leaf blower going in the background. I hope that doesn't bother people. Wait, you just shut it off. All right, no leaf blower. Okay, are you ready for the half bike? It's a half a motorcycle. All right, let's check it out, man. This is cool. Here we go. All right, that's it, man, right there. A lot of people have seen this, and people have been to the shop and everything have probably seen this. This is a mini bike. It's a mini chopper. It's got a girder front end on it. I made the girder front end myself. It's made out of water pipe from Lowe's Hardware. And of course this is steel rod to reinforce it. And everything is just, you know, standard off the shelf from Lowe's Hardware. And the frame I made, I didn't make the gas tank. I didn't make the seat. I made the handlebars, the front end. I made the frame. And yeah, that's about it. But anyway, yeah, the motor's from one of them $100 6.5 horsepower Harbor Freight motors, you know. And I took the gas tank off of it, and I never could figure out what to put up there. You know, there was a big void spot, because these motors aren't straight up and down like the old Briggs & Stratton flatheads. They had, their cylinders were straight up and down. This motor's kind of had like a slant 6 cylinder, maybe the old Plymouth slant 6, remember those? Well, this is a single cylinder, but it's the engine's on a slant. So it left a big open spot right here. So I had this old air scoop from, gosh, I don't know, back in the 70s. I had it laying around the shop for years. Came off of one of my old panheads a long time ago. So, you know, a guy was in here, and he didn't know anything about motorcycles. He was a friend of my stepdaughter's. He said, well, why don't you put a scoop? You know, boy, the light turned on in my brain, so I went up there and I got that scoop, you know, I had from the old panhead from back in the days, mounted it on there, and it turned out perfect. It filled that void spot where the gas tank used to be, because we're using this gas tank up here to provide gas for the engine. But anyway, this is a little mini bike. This is my half bike. I like to ride this thing around the yard, sometimes ride it over to the house, get a bite to eat, and ride it back to the shop. And that's about it. It'd be a good bike for parades. But anyway, it was slow in the shop, so I built this. I got the plans for the frame off the internet. You know, I just Googled it, and then somebody was selling some plans, and I got the plans, and I got all the measurements, and I made the frame. And the front ends on the plans, I didn't like any of their front ends at all. So I just made my own front end. I just designed the whole front end and did it myself. But the frame and everything was directly off of those plans I bought on the internet. Okay. We have our new bike here that we're just getting ready to start. And we're going to cut it off here, and I'm going to put this other bike over here, and I'm going to show you what's on the table next, the next bike I'm going to build, okay? I'm going to shut it off right there. All right, half bike. Okay, believe it or not, this is the next bike I'm going to build. It doesn't look like a whole lot right now. I've just got you know, pieces of steel rod stuck in here to hold the wheels on. I basically just put this up on this lift to look at the lines of the bike. You know, the frame is the starting point. The frame dictates to you how the bike's going to be. You know, everything else is bling bling, okay? So this bike already had the fender on it. This bike used to be a running bike, but it didn't run very far because this tire is brand new. It's a 16-inch tire, and one of the reasons that I decided to pick these parts to put this bike together is because I really like this tire. This tire is it's really got a high profile. It's real meaty, and it kind of reminds me of a friend of mine used to have a bike that had a Volkswagen tire on the back of it. It was a 15. He had a 15-inch Volkswagen tire on the back of his motorcycle, which was really cool. I thought it was cool. So when I saw how meaty this tire was, I said, oh, this is going to be it. This is going to be my next bike. So we're going to put this one together. And some, you know, like I don't know if you know this or not, but some of these bikes I'm showing you right now, Some of them are for sale, some of them aren't for sale, okay? So if you might be interested in a bike that I build, just call me. Sometimes the owner, you know, he'll have the bike for a year, get tired of it, and want to come to me and say, I want to get rid of the bike, which is a little crazy because it's kind of expensive to build these bikes. But anyway, that'll happen, and some of these bikes are for sale. So I just thought I'd throw that in there. But anyway, I really like the lines of it. I like the meaty tire, and this tire, they say this bike was actually on the road, but I looked real close to this tire, and it still has little tits on it from when it was brand new. So I looked at the tits in the middle of the tire, because that's where it runs, is in the middle of the tire. And it looks like to me the thing maybe had 100 miles, 200 miles. I don't know why they took it back apart with such few miles. Something was wrong, obviously, not put together right. So anyway, we come up with all the parts, and we've got a motor and a transmission. It's an Evolution engine, you know, and it's a 5-speed transmission. It's going to be an open belt drive. So I think the lines look pretty good. This gas tank is just sitting on here. It's going to be a little bit higher. It's going to sit about like this. And this is a Sportster gas tank. You know, just like the 77 Shovelhead, it had a Sportster gas tank on it. And so we're going to run this gas tank. We're not going to run these handlebars or these risers. I don't like them. They're too short. Okay. So I try to build my bikes to look good and be functional, where you can actually get on the bike and you can ride. You can ride it to Sturgis and back if you want to. I try to build a bike that's going to stay together and be functional and comfortable to ride. You can get way crazy with a motorcycle and build something that's just totally not functional or rideable. And I try to make everything I make, I try to make rideable, where a guy can get on it, ride across the country or ride across town, or ride to the nearest bar and get drunk. But anyway, this is going to be the next project I got going on, and I'm going to start mock-up, and when I get mocked up or partway marked up, I'll make another video on it, okay? Alright, so for now, this is Al over here at Al's Motorcycle Shop, and over and out. Woohoo!